Hello, everyone. It's your friendly neighborhood president, Grover Cleveland here, and you're watching Ink the Book Show because it makes you feel alive again. Say, did you know that you can follow Ryan O'Connor at Wrangleshank on Instagram, on TikTok, and on Twitter? And if you like his daily drawings or his work on the Bonehead comic, you can also watch his Bonehead cartoon on YouTube. The link to all these things and more can be found in the description. Furthermore, be sure to like, to share, and to subscribe to all things Wrangleshank and all things Ink the Book. Thank you.
It's time for Ink the Book Show with your host, Ryan O'Connor. And now, let's ink the book.
They said he was dead. They made me a promise they couldn't defend. Hello, everybody. I'm back. We're doing another page of Bonehead here on Ink the Book. I've been sitting on this one, trying to draw the page before it. And, you know, I think it's because it's at the end, the last few pages. It's just killing me to even touch the pages. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? It's like the end's in sight, so I'm getting lazy. But I don't know. It's also that time of year where it's just like, first of all, the sun's going down, so it's getting all gloomy, and you're getting that seasonal affective disorder weighing on your brain. What else? Christmas time. It's busy. I've got a family Christmas party to go to tomorrow. But enough about all that. Let's ink the book. We're inking like we know what we're doing. So get a load of this. So this is actually a redraw of the original page before I added, like, fixed stuff and added stuff and changed stuff around. This page looked a little something like this. And I basically did a trace over and changed a few elements. I think I'm still going to change a couple things. But let's see. All right. Little BTS. Sometimes you draw the page over again. Okay. Oh, you know what? I usually do this stuff in one of these pens. Is that going to work? No, that's way too thin for my panels and my words. Also, is this marker going to work? No, not marker, pen. There's one that I've been using. I've got all my broken markers in here as well. I keep calling them markers. They're my, what do you call them? Multi-line pens. Gotta find one that has a good thickness for me. I've got like 6 sets of different brands here. This would work. Let's give this one a whirl. Okay. Got my ruler. So my brother so sometimes I do a podcast with my brothers called Nam Just. I put on YouTube already. I've got the link to the new one. It's just me and him. It's a little more inappropriate conversation typically than this art show currently transpiring gets. There's some cuss bombs in there, some talk of bodily fluids that should never be mentioned in polite company. But, not on this show. But if you like terrible talk, you might like the podcast that I do with my brothers sometimes. So I put the link, like I said, I put the link. If you're watching this on YouTube, it's in the description already. If you're watching on Twitch, I always put links in the description at the end because that's when it lets me. Yikes, that light was a little hot. A little hard to see what was going on with it. I wonder, what is the marker? I can't see. Since when am I calling these markers? Let's see. There's a specific one that I was setting aside because it was working out well for me when all these other ones are getting kind of worn out. That'll do. I'll live. So okay, here is. But yeah, on the podcast that my brother just posted to the Namjust YouTube channel. It's also on Apple Podcasts and Spotify as an audio podcast now. But the one he just posted, it's just me and him, and we're talking about a new Crash game that's coming out. And we also talk about Winnie the Pooh as you've never seen him before. That's all I'll say about that. Otherwise, you can just Google Namjust, and it should be the only YouTube channel that'll pop up. So yeah, I usually do my pages with ink and brush, but these little details, I usually use better pens. A better pen. Let's see. Pretty sure I tried this one already. So this is a fire alarm that's going off. Woot, woot, woot. We're at the end of the book, so the building has to be on fire. That's Chekhov's rule. Just kidding. Chekhov was the one that said, if you introduce a gun in the first act, it has to go off by the end of the third act or something like that. So here's a W. Ah, for Pete's sake. I can't draw a straight line to save my gizzard. Yeah, I have a gizzard, so what? I also have 2 fists that are gonna fight you about it. Ah, for Pete's sake. I'm usually better at lettering. Inking my letters. I also usually do it off camera, this part. But I didn't want to put it off any longer. I think at this point of the day, I'm blowing off a child's birthday party that I'm supposed to be heading to right now. And then I am going to my brother's house in a little bit. So I've been drinking just 1 cup of tea a day for a while now, because I'm trying to go easy on my vocal cords. I'm trying to see if it makes a difference. But today I'm cheating. It's the first time I've cheated, I think, in a while. This is my second one today. Because you know what? It's hard. It really helps you stay busy. I feel like if you got a nice hot caffeinated drink, it's a crutch, but it's my crutch. Dang it. No, I think I'm gonna try and keep at the 1 a day thing, but I just felt like I needed one to kind of motivate me into drawing. I haven't been doing streams, and I think that's part of what's going on. It's like I don't have the tea and I'm losing motivation or something. I don't know. But like I say, it's not a good excuse. It's my excuse. Okay, so I'm gonna start with the characters. Here's my what do you call it? My Winsor and Newton Series 7, Sable Kalinsky Series 7. Did I say that part? Number 3 brush. I'm using Speedball India ink, and I'm doing this on Canson comic book artboards, 11 by 17, that I get from Hobby Lobby or Amazon. Here, let me bring this in a bit. Here's Mort. This is our group of protagonists here. So this is my book Bonehead. This is probably page like 2. It says 210 at the top is what I wrote. I don't actually know the correct page number, but I know it's pretty close to the end, and the book is about 250 pages. So it's probably a lot closer to 250. Ooh, let me focus. There we go. It's a little sharper. Let's see. He's holding this. Oh, you know what I watched the other day? I watched the new Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio on Netflix, which was really good. I loved that movie. I don't know if I've seen anything, but no, I've seen. I was gonna say I don't think I've seen anything by Guillermo del Toro before, but I've seen Hellboy 2. Not even the first one. I'm not a big movie guy. I'm more of a show guy. I like getting sucked into shows. But yeah, I had seen the new Disney Pinocchio, which I thought they kind of ruined all the things that I wanted to see in that movie. And I was a little underwhelmed by that film. There was some stuff that I liked. I thought Pinocchio's voice was really good. I thought Pinocchio looked a little too clean and cheap to me. Like the character, he looked a little too pristine or something. I forget. Like he just looked like fresh out the box, kind of. He looked like he was a mass-produced puppet, you know, rather than like a hand-carved thing. I liked the kid who voiced Pinocchio in that movie though, and I liked Keegan Michael Key as Honest John, and I'm sure there was some other stuff I liked, but I don't remember it. How do you like that? I just plumb forget. But this other Pinocchio, I remember thinking it looked really cool when I heard about it at the same time as the other Pinocchio being announced. I think they were kind of announced at the same time. Um, here's a strange similarity between the two new Pinocchios. Uh, Monstro the whale, which is not named in this new one. I assume that's a Disney name, but is not simply a whale. He's a what do you call it? He's like a sea monster in both of them. Like he has tentacles and stuff in both of them. Now I'm not too familiar with Carlo Collodi's version of Pinocchio, but is he not a whale in the book? I don't know. Anyway, this one, it's very much a unique take on Pinocchio. It kind of takes place during um, with Benito Mussolini. Mussolini is a character in the movie. He's voiced by Tom Kenny, which I was just thinking, good for Tom Kenny. Who else is in it? There were a couple cool voice actors in it. How do I draw this guy's shoes? Get my pencil. I know, what's his name? Christoph Waltz. He plays the bad guy in it, the new Pinocchio, and I love him. Who else was in it? There's another name that I feel like I was really excited about. Ron Perlman is in it, who played Hellboy in those two movies from before David Harbour did it. Let me think. Oh! Who played the cricket? Ewan McGregor. That's who. I was surprised that I recognized Ewan McGregor's voice, and then I was surprised that I recognized Christoph Waltz's voice, because he's doing a very specific voice that really kind of threw me for a minute. Kate Blanchett voices a monkey for some reason. Like, it did not have to be a star. It could have been like an unpaid intern who voiced this monkey throughout the movie. You know, that kind of stuff. Here. There we go. Just cleaning up my my brush tip. Oh, tomorrow I have I think I mentioned it earlier. I have a family Christmas party I'm going to. So that'll be fun. Some people don't like their families. I like my family. Some people have every right to not like their family, by the way. But some people are perfectly justified to not like their family. Some people, I think, just don't like their families because they think they're supposed to, or something. It seems like. Here we go. More here, he wears Converse, or knockoff Ryan brand Converse. I've also been watching a lot of the IT crowd while I work on a secret project. I'm starting very barely, but I'm starting to practice coloring for when I start coloring this book. So practicing coloring. I'm hopefully going to be scanning pages of this book in soon. Officially. to start coloring this. But yeah, I've started coloring something, and I mean barely. I'm trying to figure out how to get going on that. When I start coloring this book, I'll maybe be doing that on this channel. Here's Bonehead's beloved Petunia, the ghost girl. Let me see something. I want to copy this link. I'm going to send it to Liam again, who has been going to the gym a lot lately. So he's like never around. But what else is new? Am I right? Dance on through. That's a song by the Human Beings. Or is it the Human Beings? I forget. Some band from the 60s. They do that no, or whatever, however that goes. You know the one I'm talking about. That song. They do a song called Dance On Through that I really like. That's how I invited him and actually my other brother, Mike, just now, to come onto the show. So Petunia here, she's a waitress at a diner. And before this book, I'd only ever drawn her in her waitress garb. And she has like a date night with Bonehead planned. So she's wearing this dress. And I didn't think anything of it when I wrote that they were going on a date. But I didn't realize how nice it would be to draw her in like a new costume. And I really liked drawing her in this dress. Let's see.
I don't think I'm satisfied with her hair going like this. I think I'm gonna do something because or trying to think of like her head turning. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. And then there. Capiche? Yeah, I capiche. Everything except capiche. I don't think I finished this hand here. I can't tell though. Here's Mort's tail. He's a little devil guy. Not a satanic devil guy. I don't. It's just a. Just a thing for a character to be. Okay. So we got those two characters drawn. See, she's a ghost, he's a devil. Bonehead's a skeleton. And here we've got Billy, who is an alien. Okay. Oh. I'm drinking my bonus cup of tea too fast. I might even have a third one. This morning I made myself this huge breakfast. I had fried potatoes and bacon, eggs, sausage, toast. That's how I get myself out of bed in the morning. I'm like, I'm going to have a big breakfast. That was my first cup of tea, too.
Oh, it's 3:12. I'm supposed to be in a Chuck E. Cheese right now. Don't sound so distressed. Did I happen to mention that I'm impressed? I just remembered me and my sister Heather, we used to do this bit when we would be like, I just remember a couple times driving around places and we would just go into a Gordon Gano voice where we'd be like, hey, yeah, did you hear about that Walmart? Like just kind of making fun of him in that song in Kiss Off. He's obscuring the butte on his shirt. Billy TV here. He wears a shirt that says butte on it. Because it looks like butt. Because that's my idea of a joke. The joke is really that he's from out of town because he's an alien. So he's wearing a shirt from out of town. That's my out of town joke, is that I had it in another book that I started that I'm probably going to go into after I finish making Bonehead. I'm probably going to go back and finish the second and third act of this comic I started a long time ago called Moon Valley, where there was somebody from out of town well, this kid moves in from out of town, and his dad wears a shirt that says Butte on it. I just picked Butte because it looks like butt. I made that joke up for that. Oh no, I think I actually did do the Butte t-shirt on this character before I really knew anything about him. And I didn't know if I was going to use that joke ever, so I put it on that dad. But I liked it more for the space alien wearing a Butte, Montana shirt. But also, he is from a planet also called Montana. Coincidentally. Though it's less of a coincidence in this book, I kind of made it make sense in this book. I was just happy thinking about the Nam Just podcast that went out today. I was just happy my brother posted it because I've recorded like 3 episodes with him that he is withheld, that he's repressed because I don't know. He says it's because we talk over each other too much, which is probably true. It's like too chaotic of a recording. because we've always done it, the three of us, me, my brother Mike, and my brother Liam. And now I think he's just trying to do it like he did one, 2 weeks ago or a week ago of just my brother Mike and him, and then now he did one with just me, and it's filmed in my living room. And I feel like it gets a little meandery. It's a little. I'm not as good as talking as my brother Mike, but also I'm not as necessarily as vulgar as my brother Mike likes to be sometimes. No, my brother Mike kills on that show. He is hysterical. So it's kind of you know, I wish he would be in every single one of them, but at the same time, sometimes when he's there, it's like I certainly can't get a word in edgewise half the time, but I have a hard time getting my words out to begin with sometimes. This is Boris, the security guard, who didn't exist before I started this book, but I wanted to do a rhino character because I've always liked rhinos. My name is Ryan O'Connor. Now I get it. No, but I've always liked rhinos, and I realized I never made up a rhino character of my own before. And I was like, I just wanted to do as many. I just wanted to throw things into this book that I would have liked as a kid or something. You know, I was trying to make this a fun book in my mind as much as I could. So there's monsters in it. Every like all the characters are something, you know, something fun to draw. Like I like drawing this guy. I like drawing like these simple ghosts and aliens and devil guys and Bonehead. It's like all the characters are just kind of just fun to draw for me. Is part of the idea that kind of like going into this project of making a graphic novel. It's like you gotta find out where the fun is for you, so you keep coming back. You know, so you show up and finish the project. Because it was like I was very familiar with starting projects only to abandon them, and I didn't want this to be that again. You know what I mean? I think it's the easiest thing in the world for an artist to not follow through on what they say they're going to do, or what they of not finishing the projects they start. A lot of artists I know, including myself, have a tendency to be flaky. So, you know, you got to kind of trick yourself and figure out how to trick yourself into like buckling down and keeping busy, which is why the cup of tea, the bonus cup of tea, even though I said I've been telling myself I'd only have one a day. Dude, when I was making there's a Bonehead cartoon that I made. It's like a 16-minute cartoon or something like that on my YouTube channel. Wrangleshank, Ryan O'Connor, I don't know. Something on YouTube. But I spent a year making a Bonehead cartoon. It's not perfect, but it's done. All right. But man, when I was animating that, I was having upwards of 8 cups of tea a day at least. And definitely upwards. It was because I think 8 was not too far off from kind of average for me. I drink a lot of tea. I'm about to heat up a third. Here, I'm going to disappear for 1 second. One Mississippi. And we're back. So that's heating. Yeah, I keep a, what do you call it? Like an electric kettle on my desk just outside this room, on the second floor of this house, because of it's up here because of how much tea I drink. Actually, it's up here because of me animating that cartoon last year or the year before, I think it was. I think I'm gonna. I don't like this hand. I don't like that position. It just doesn't seem like what it needs to be. I think he's gonna be like. I think it's gonna be turned the other way, kind of like she's doing. So he's gonna be like, oh my. Wait, let me think. If his hand is, yeah, his thumb is going to be toward us, but do I see it yet? That working for me? It's such a mess now. Got to pull out some of these pencils. Okay, I think I see it. Yeah, I think that's what I need. Okay, that's better, right? So the thing with, at least for me, what was that flash? It's been doing that lately. I don't know why. Anyway. The thing with inking my art, or even drawing my art for this book, it's like I'm trying not to settle for good enough as much as I can help it. Like if I see something and it doesn't quite sit right with me, I'm trying to address it as much as I can bear. 'Cause sometimes it's like, I see something that doesn't sit right, but I'm like, I could noodle away at that all day and get nowhere. But I do try to. I am trying to like stand on my tiptoes as much as I can with this. Okay, there's that. Okay. It's probably part of his collar there. Button. So this page, there's almost no borders on this page because it's bleeding to the edge. There's one panel inset on the page. The main thing is I wanted to keep most of the important stuff. There's like little guides on this page. I think you want absolutely nothing worth keeping outside this thing. I think this is the text safe, or maybe the innermost one. That's probably the text safe one. And then that's your bleed, and then that's like the cutoff point or something like that. And if that's not exactly what it is, that's at least close enough to how you want to think about it. Let's see. So I think I mentioned I've been watching the IT Crowd. I haven't seen the IT Crowd in years, and but I've definitely watched it through a couple times, and so much of it feels like brand new to me. It's hysterical sometimes. I love the IT Crowd. It's so fun. I've always liked that Irish guy. What's his name? Chris O'Dowd. And then Richard Ayoade, or whatever his name is. I'm pretty sure it's Ayoade. That's what it looks like to me anyway. I've never actually heard it said out loud, so I don't. Oh, and Matt Berry, when he comes on the show, I love that dude too. That guy's voice is a work of art. He's on that what We Do in the Shadows show that I've never seen, but I hear great things about it. I have some friends who are huge fans of that show. But I like that Graham Linehan guy who created it. He also did Father Ted and what else? Father Ted. He did one called Black Books, which I think came right before the IT Crowd, and it's kind of a similar thing. It's a guy, this kind of like deadbeat dude who owns a bookstore, and then he makes a couple friends. I haven't seen that in a long time. It used to be on Netflix, but isn't anymore. But if you can find Black Books, that's pretty enjoyable. I think he had another thing that I watched, but I don't remember what. I haven't seen a ton of Father Ted. My parents used to rave about that years ago. My mom's Irish, so she'd be she's always quick to like check out Irish stuff, Irish tangentially related things sometimes. And like if you want her to check something out, just tell her it's Irish in some way. I remember one time I told her System of a Down was an Irish band or something. I don't think that's true at all, but it might be. I don't know. I don't know where they're from at all. But I told her System of a Down was Irish, and she was like, "Really? Maybe I'll check them out." That's so. Whenever I want her to check something out, I just go, "Oh yeah, it's got this Irish guy in it." Let me see. So his arm is kind of casting a shadow onto this door. Cast a shadow in my direction. Cast a shadow in my direction. And cast a shadow in my direction. Who is that? Cub. A band called Cub that I really like from the 90s. How can I make this look more like a shadow? I don't know. No, it doesn't help, I think. I know what the sidewalk's going to be in front of these blades of grass. I think this line has to curve differently. So let me rethrow that line. I don't like where it ends though, because it's going to create a tangent on this guy's face. I can maybe make that work though. There is a lion with a shark's head and he's roaming through the jungle. He is searching for the gold, but he wants to be alone. He sees a house and a boat and a car and a rock and a house and a boat and a car and a rock and a house and a boat and a car and a rock. I think my brain's just poured out of my ears. Pardon me. So I left a tiny little gap in the inks to kind of like help it separate so it's not a direct tangent and it doesn't get misread as easily. I'll get creative with how I'm going to ink this eyeball. He'll see you now, diagnosed with compound eyes, multiply the problem. What is it? He'll see what's wrong and he'll be what's wrong as he twitches his proboscis and he'll tell you your diagnosis. Dr. Sci-Fi is deep in thought, wiping the sweat off of his brow. I don't really remember how it goes. It's a They Might Be Giants song. Speaking of They Might Be Giants, earlier today, because I'm so obsessed with They Might Be Giants, it's a little pathetic. I gotta get me a new cup of tea. Since I'm breaking my rule. But today I discovered I was looking for a live performance of one of their newer songs because I saw that they recently played it live for the first time. And then I found, to my surprise, I found a karaoke version of it. And I clicked on the channel and found out, I was like, that's a really good karaoke version. It uses the actual track, but they actually like got the voices out of it, and it was really well done. So I checked out the channel, and they had like dozens of tracks that they did really good karaoke versions of. I'll have to let me look it up real quick. Let me see. Let's see. What was the song I was looking up? It was Brontosaurus off their new album Book. And I didn't find the live version, but I did find that karaoke version. Let's see. I just want to find the channel. Here it is. Karaoke Nerds. I'm going to turn down my phone as I click on one of their videos. Karaoke Nerds on YouTube. It's they've got a Ween karaoke channel. They've got They Might Be Giants karaoke, Bright Eyes, Death Cab for Cutie. Ooh, you know what song I like by them? Crooked Teeth. Elliott Smith, Counting Crows, Neil Young, Cake, Bare Naked Ladies. What else have they got? Fountains of Wayne, Tom Petty, Elton John, Pink Floyd, Jackson Brown. Ooh, Jackson Brown. Jukebox the Ghost. Guys, I don't know what half this stuff is, okay? Forgive me. And then they've got like channels like Country, Miscellaneous, you know, that channel. Modern Alternative, Classic Rock. All right. Well, check them out. Would I say Karaoke Nerds? Yeah. But they have like a ton. I found myself like singing like 12 different songs along with the karaoke versions today. I've got my dark chocolate to stave off the depression. You know what else? I'm gonna get that cup of tea. Uno momento. I'm pouring a cup of tea. And yelling in my home. There we are. Okay. So we're on this fly guy. You know what I've really been resenting lately is social media. I just don't have time for it, but it sucks me. Like I cannot tell you how much time I just waste scrolling through Twitter and Instagram and Facebook. It's depressing to think about. I don't like it. I'd much rather be just stream more, so I'm doing something a little more productive, and just put my phone in a drawer. One of the main things that keeps me from streaming sometimes, though, is just setting up a stream, because that's the most daunting part of it. I just don't want to set up a stream, like prepare the artwork and my little intro. it's not that much work, and if I try to, I can really bang that bit of work out fairly quickly. But just the thought of having to do it is it's been enough to keep me from streaming sometimes. I try to do this every day, but I haven't been doing them lately. Maybe that's part why. I don't know. Part of why. I saw there's a new Spider-Verse movie coming out. I didn't properly watch the trailer. I watched it without sound. And I don't know. I liked that first one. And it's like one of two Marvel movies I've seen. Two of the since Marvel movies became huge like 10 years ago. I saw the first, what do you call it? I saw the first Avengers movie in theaters with my cousin Brian. And by the way, I didn't really want to see it because I had no interest in it, but that's what we were doing. And I really liked it. I wasn't expecting to like it secretly, and it turned out I did at the time. And then I saw Into the Spider-Verse on Netflix like a couple years ago. I think it had been out a while before I saw it. I don't know that it's even been out a couple years. I guess it's been out at least 2 or 3 years, right? I think I might have seen it just last year. And I like that one too. So they're 2 for 2 for me, the Marvel movies. But I don't see myself watching any other ones. Maybe I'll watch Across the Spider-Verse. This new one. Maybe. If Phil Lord and Chris Miller worked on this one too, I'd be a little more likely to give it a whirl. I think that's what got me into the first one, because they did a show called Clone High that I really liked on MTV a number of years ago, which is coming back. There's a reboot, season 2 after 20 years coming out, which I'm excited about. Hopefully it's not a tragedy. Let's pull out a bit. There we go. Little spirally flower there. So I think, for lack of a scanner that can scan 11 by 17-inch pages, I think I'm gonna take my pages to FedEx office one of these days, one day soon, and like I'll bring 24-page batches and scan them at FedEx. Which I think I worked out, like, let me see. I'll look it up, because I think I worked out my whole book to scan it would be like $60 or something. Ultimately, what does that work out to? 60 divided by 250. Yeah, I think that's what it said on the site. It was like 11 by 17 scans. They said that were available were 24 cents a piece. So $60 over time, scanning 24 page batches at a time, costing $60. That's nothing. That's less than $6 to scan 24 pages. I can live with that. It's fair enough. I tried 2 local libraries scanners, and I wasn't satisfied with the results. I imagine FedEx office will be able to provide what I need. I'd feel more comfortable going to a Kinko's, but those don't exist anymore because FedEx office bought them out. And I say I'd feel more comfortable with it being a Kinko's just because that was like what they did. FedEx, that's like a service they provide, you know what I mean? It's like not their primary business. At least as far as I know them. I don't know how much they deal with that stuff. I've never gone into a FedEx office before. But maybe I'll get real acquainted now, huh? Pot of coffee. Let me turn the camera on here. Cock it to the side of my hand. I always forget that I don't know if I was just doing it or not, covering up the drawing. But I catch myself doing that sometimes when I watch parts of the streams back. I'm like, I gotta stop putting the camera directly over my hand. So I'm pretty sure, well, it doesn't exactly look like, well, remember, this was a trace over of the original page. So So yeah, it looks like, I was gonna say, it doesn't look like I used a ruler, but I feel like I used a ruler on these windows and the door frame and stuff. Well, I did originally, but it's a little more organic on this because I traced it freehand. I mean, I would have inked it freehand anyhow. So here's the smoke here. So I finally got some Christmas shopping done. I've got most of the important stuff purchased. I still got more to do. But I'm feeling like I feel less like I'm burning bridges with all my loved ones because I haven't bought anybody anything. So this building is the poison factory where Bonehead works. And if people don't know who Bonehead is, he's the main character of this book that I'm working on. He looks a little bit like that. In fact, I'd go so far as to say he looks exactly like that. That panel was originally supposed to be what's on this panel, but things change. Rewrites occur. People's heads start falling off. If you know what I mean. If you catch my meaning there. Oh, I'm getting a fake phone call, I think. You know what I found out, though? Even if I answered this fake phone call, they wouldn't be able to hear what I'm saying. At some point, the speaker on my phone... No, not the speaker, but the part that I speak into, the receiver on my phone broke. And it had to be super recently. I don't know when, though, or what happened. But it's all muffled. It's like all staticky, and my voice is super quiet. Because a friend of mine called me a couple times, and she couldn't hear me. I didn't know why. And I tried... here, I recorded myself talking. Was that it? Hold on. That was me like yelling into it, like going real loud, louder than a normal speak. I think that's me going, hello, hello. It's a little crooked on the perspective here, all right, but all right. Here, I'll give this wall a shadow back here. Kind of clarify what's going on. So there's a wall and another wall. Makes sense. It's a narrow little hallway, I guess, but yeah, for crying out loud. Voicemail from a fake number. That makes me want to eat some Dove dark chocolate. It doesn't take much to make me want to eat some Dove dark chocolate. In fact, just the presence of Dove dark chocolate being in my house will make me want to eat Dove dark chocolate. Now it's 4 o'clock, and I think people are showing up at my brother's house already. And here am I. And where am I? Dude, by the way, I don't have like some weird, I'm not like super fond of Pinocchio to begin with, but it's been a thing on this channel since I started it. Probably the day I started it, I feel like. Pinocchio always comes up. I was just talking about how I saw the new Pinocchio movie, and I just did the, what am I? Just your conscience. At least that's what I was thinking when I said, where am I? I always catch myself referencing Pinocchio on this channel, and it's probably the only place I do it. But I've even drawn Bonehead in a Pinocchio. Like, I remember one day I inked a Pinocchio that was, here, I'll show you. I mean, I inked Bonehead in this exact pose because I drew that pose. But I feel like he always comes up. It's a weird, it's the Pinocchio curse of this channel. If there was a Disney movie I'd say I'm obsessed with, I'd more quickly say that I was obsessed with Sleeping Beauty, which I think is the best Disney movie ever made. It's certainly the most beautiful Disney movie ever made. But I can hardly say I'm obsessed with it because I never, like, I never think about watching it or... But I do think about the art of that movie a lot. I think I tried to watch it a couple of years ago, and I was not giving it a ton of my attention throughout the movie, but there are certain parts where it's just an amazingly styled movie. And Princess Aurora is beautiful. Prince Philip, um, the fairy godmothers, Maleficent. It's just so well designed. The kings, the two kings, they're so well designed, and it's such a clean looking movie, especially for Disney at that. I don't know. Like when I think of the earlier Disney movies, um, like think about Snow White, Cinderella. They're kind of scratchier. Like uh, Sleeping Beauty is so clean, but I think and Ivan Earl's background paintings are tremendous. They're kind of designed after kind of like playing cards and other medieval art, and so they kind of have a like a. I mean, well, that's the character designs too. Like they're kind of designed after like playing card art or something like that kind of medieval looking stuff. And but then Ivan Earl's backgrounds kind of like everything's horizontal or vertical. Like if you look at those paintings, we had gotten a when I was a kid, we had gotten a VHS copy. My mom bought a VHS copy of Sleeping Beauty, which I didn't particularly, I didn't care about it as a boy, as a young boy, about Sleeping Beauty, because it centers around a singing girl, and there's three fairy godmothers, and it was just, it wasn't go-to entertainment for me as a young boy. But there was a featurette on at the end of the movie, at the end of the tape, on Ivan Earl and his paintings, and I must have been 13 or something when I saw that, and it kind of really caught my attention, and suddenly like my love for that movie like skyrocketed, and I noticed how amazing it looked all together. And there's a cool scene at the beginning, like there's like everybody's coming to see the baby Princess Aurora, right? Um, and it's said she married Prince Philip, and it's like the two kingdoms coming together. They're all excited about the birth of this princess, right? And so the opening, I think it's like the opening shot. It's like all these lines of people like flocking to the castle, but it also it also reminds me of kind of like medieval art too. Like it's like this group of characters. It's just like a still painting, right? But they move the still painting like of these like this group of characters, and it's just like this real limited animation kind of thing, but it doesn't look cheap. It just looks stylized. Like it's something Hanna-Barbera would do. Like it's just a still painting of characters, or a still cell of characters like moving across the screen. And I always thought that was really well. It was a good use of limited animation right there in that movie. Like that's something that could easily look very cheap, and I didn't I never thought it looked cheap. I thought it just was a nice trick right there in that instance. Wallaby. Okay. I do that a lot. The Wallaby, which is a reference to the Three Stooges, but I know it from Ren and Stimpy. Something Stimpy would do once in a while. I think it might be from the Ren and Stimpy episode I watched most recently. I think that's in the haunted house one. I could be wrong though. I'm sure he does it in more than one cartoon though. Wallaby. There's a lot of reference to the Three Stooges in Ren and Stimpy. I think John Crispolucci. I know John Crispolucci was a huge Three Stooges guy, and also Billy West, the phenomenal Billy West, is a huge Three Stooges guy. Billy West is one of my heroes. Honestly, John Crispolucci is too in animation. In in cartoons. I like him for the good thing that he did, not the bad stuff. You know, if he just stuck to the good thing, if all he did was the stuff that I liked him for, I think everybody would agree he's a great man. But he did some bad stuff too. So we don't celebrate that part. In my opinion, I think he should have just made cartoons and not done anything else. Actually, the cool thing about Ren and Stimpy, in particular, because if you look at other stuff in John Crispolucci's career, it's too uninhibited. It's just too out there. It's like the rowdy kid in class just doing whatever he wants. You know what? How long have I been at this? An hour and a half. My family's asking me where I am. So yeah, I think I'll do one more character, and then I'll call this the show. Okay? I'll finish this maybe tomorrow before the family Christmas party I'm going to. I should be able to. That's what I'll do. I'll finish this tomorrow. But I'm going to do one more character drawing on this page since there's so many characters. Yeah, I already blew off one thing today. I can't blow off my whole family on top of it. That is my now blowing off my whole family would be tomorrow's thing, right? But I'm just talking about my brothers and sisters and their significant others and my nieces and nephews and my parents, I guess, are going to be at my brother's house in a little bit. Or actually, I think they're there now. So I'm going to hang out with them. You know, that's the thing with my art. I try to draw every day, but I try not to leave out the other parts of my life. You want to have like as balanced a life as you can get. You need friends, family, I'd say religion. You got to make time for everything. And you want to have like hobbies aside from like things that you like to do aside from art, right? Because when you start doing art, like when it's like when you start doing it like it's your job, like dedicating time to it every day. And by the way, I haven't been streaming as much lately, but I have been working on art stuff every day. So when you're like kind of like doing it almost like homework every day, you need something that kind of fills in the leisure, like checks the box of like leisure and fun. So like I'll watch IT Crowd or something, and I like to read, though I haven't been reading much lately, unfortunately. But I usually read a little bit of 4 different books every night. Because I'm trying to get through a bunch of books. And they're like 4 different kinds of books, usually. Like one's light and funny, one's like nonfiction, one's like philosophy, one's the Bible. But like I say, I haven't been reading any of it lately, the past couple weeks. But I don't know. I'm just saying, I try to kind of make time for everything. But that also, you know, like it's like when you kind of make an appointment out of everything, everything becomes kind of like homework. And I'm finding it that can quickly burn you out on stuff too sometimes before long. At least that's the case with me.
So I gotta be careful not to like burn myself out of everything. But you want to be a well-rounded guy. You don't want to blow off your family, blow off your friends, just because you're too busy drawing a comic. Also, I have a full-time job that is separate from all of that stuff. So sometimes that gets in the way. Which, oh yeah, that's part of a reason why I missed a couple of those days. I had to do like an overnight shift at my day job recently, which kind of threw me off for that day and the next day. I get these overnight shifts thrown at me at the drop of a hat. I mean, which is fine enough. I'm happy to help people out when I can. You know, like I see my coworkers often enough where I consider them friends, you know? I love my coworkers. So I don't want them to be in a lousy bind. Help them I can, you know? But that can be rough to drop what you're doing and change your entire day's plans at the last minute, you know? Let's see. I'm going to finish this alligator scientist and then get out of here. So his little jacket, his lab coat, is hanging on top of his shirt. Under his arm has a bit of a drop shadow. I'll maybe put a little bit on his hand here. And then what else? So he's got a leg here. Here's his croco hand. Is he a crocodile or an alligator, Ryan? I never know. Or is he a dinosaur? Hey, what's the difference between dragons and dinosaurs? Allegedly, dragons breathe fire. But I think a lot of accounts and tales of dragons are referring to dinosaurs. Right? Do you know Marco Polo has like what is it, the 14th century or something 13th century, 14th century. He, on a trip to China, he wrote on these dragons that they were capturing, and like he kind of goes into detail about like how big their eyes and their claws were and stuff. It's like like I forget what dinosaur, but something I was reading a while back. They were speculating that he's referring to some specific dinosaur. It was like, were dinosaurs around when Marco Polo was going to China in the 13th, 14th century? I think that's pretty cool. I think that's pretty dang cool. One of my roommates is home. Where the heck are they, though? I don't see their car out there. Anyway, this is this character. So I'll finish this page tomorrow, is the plan. Here, I'm going to give him a tongue in here. I think I meant to make it longer, actually. When I see part of the pencils here, a real faint part, but that's okay. Okay. I just want to make sure this tail has a presence. So it doesn't get mistaken for this dog's face or something else when I go to color it or whatever. All right. I gotta let my dad know that I'm heading out of here. All right. That's the show, everybody. We inked a bunch of characters. We'll finish this page tomorrow. This has been today's edition of Ink the Book. Look at this hair. What a wreck. What a monstrosity. What an abomination. Anyway, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Be good to your mother, and don't forget to lick poles covered in ice. You know? All right. Goodbye, everybody. I love you. I said it to